I still feel deeply ashamed about that dumb question Nate asked me. I bet some of you guys probably did not realize it, actually. That, when Nate was around, he asked me a dumb question if I was going to give up my Adopt Me plushies. And I was like, what? No. Why would I do that? Why would Nate think that I would give up my Adopt Me plushies? I don't really know what gave him the right to do that. He really didn't give me any reason why he asked me that question. I don't even know why, but it doesn't really matter, because what he asked me was pretty dumb. I need my Adopt Me plushies because I need them for emotional support, if it's rather physical or emotional pain I'm going through. I had most of them when I got one of them in 2020. I got Candle in 2023, which is the Bat Dragon. And then I got Claws, Leica, Fiddles, Melody, Bully, and Puffy in 2024. And then this year, 2025, after Buddy's death, I got TJ, and then I got Cassie, and then it was Brian, Nature Life, Humphrey, Old Jack, and Lauren. No, wait, actually it's Lauren, then Old Jack, and then I'm gonna get a dog named Freddy. You know, the cream-colored Fred dog. And guess what? While I was playing Adopt Me, I hatched 2 eggs, and guess what? One of them was a dog, and I kept it. And I named him Scrooge. But this one that I'm getting will not be named Scrooge. It will be a different name, Freddy. Seriously, I don't know why Nate asked me such a ridiculous question like that. I did ask him why he asked me that though, but he didn't give me an answer. But you know what? It doesn't matter. Who cares if he doesn't give me an answer? That was the stupidest question he's ever asked me in my entire life. I don't even know what gave him the right to even ask me such a ridiculous question like that. What kind of question is that? Do not ever give up your plushies, because we need them. And if it's the Sugar Rush Racers, do not ever give up on them. Even though we would have no choice, if we even had to give up on them, if they were damaged, that would be very heartbreaking. And I think I know Cat Troubles had to experience that with his Candlehead plush, but he didn't give up on her. He rehomed her though. I wonder if he's still getting used to it though. I wonder if he's getting used to that new Candlehead. I think it's just starting to a little bit. Well, it's rather feel new or different to him, but it doesn't matter. It's fine. We'll let him tell us that if he feels like it. But seriously, Nate didn't understand that I need my Adopt Me plushies. I'm not giving them up for any reason. Besides, I need these. Besides, you know what I use them for? I call them the Adopt Me Cubs because they look like little cubs. And each one of them is owned as a pet for the racers. Bully the Bullfrog is Bendy's pet, and TJ the Kitsune is Tails' adoptive son. Which leaves Candle, Claws, Leica, Fiddles, Melody, Puffy, Cassie, Brian, Nature Life, Humphrey, and Old Jack, and Lauren as the racers' pets. Most different one of them. Which leaves the rest of the other pets, SR pets, which are Slushy, Anna, Tippy, Little Lenny, Koopa Troopa, Dennis, Turquoise. I think it's. I got a picture though, but I don't really look at them that much. But yeah. But seriously, why would Nate ask me that as such a question? Why would he think that I would give up my Adopt Me plushies? What exactly gave him the right to do that? I have no idea what's happening, and I have no idea why he would ask me that. I mean, it doesn't make any sense though. Why would people ask us questions about giving up plushies? We can't do that because we need our plushies. Even the Sugar Rush plushies, Disney, Illumination, and Adopt Me too. Adopt Me may not be a show, but it's a game though. Although if there was a show or a movie about Adopt Me, that'd be kind of cool. That means it would be a movie or a TV show about the pets, of what they do before they get adopted or anything, or what they do if there's no players in it. That would be kind of cool. That would be really cool if there was a show or a movie of Adopt Me, and it could be called Adopt Me, and it could be about the pets who going on adventures, and see what's happening. But it has to be kid appropriate and friendly. Maybe you can let them have speaking roles too, though. Besides, if it's for kids though, it's fine though. My dad once told me that there's nothing wrong with teenagers and adults watching kid shows. People do that for childhood, and they still do that though. They have the right to be themselves. Anyways, before Nate disappeared for some reason, I couldn't get any. He did ask me that question though. In one of the videos when where the Adopt Me Cubs were distrusting Gray, he asked me. His comment said, "Are you gonna give up your Adopt Me plushies?" And I replied, "What? No. What the heck? Seriously, why? Seriously, why would he ask me some kind of question like that? I don't get it. But it doesn't matter. I don't care if he gave me if he didn't give me an answer though. Although here's the thing, I did try to get an answer though, but he wouldn't tell me. Well, here's the thing, I didn't actually. I didn't ask him to ask me why he would ask if I would give up my Adopt Me plushies. But seriously, how would you guys feel? How would you guys react or anything if someone asked you a dumb question like that? If you were gonna give up your plushies, if it's rather Disney or the Sugar Rush Racers, the Adopt Me plushies, or what? Like, how would you guys feel? Who would do such a thing? Who would ask people a dumb question like that? Do not give up your plushies. We need them for emotional support. If it's rather physical or emotional pain that we go through. Besides, when I got the other halves of the Adopt Me plushies, they did help me overcome a little bit of Buddy's death, just like my Sugar Rush plushies. And also, P.S. Buddy's ceremony is coming up in on the 23rd. P.P.S. There will be a video about it. P.P.P.S. Okay, there's no P.P.P.S. People just make that up with the P.S. thing. Anyways, how would you guys feel if someone were to ask you a question like that? But now that Nate is gone, I don't have to deal with his nonsense. But if he comes back, I'm gonna lose my mind. Whew. What kind of person does he think I am? I would never give up any of my Adopt Me plushies for any reason.